Welcome to Comix Relics. I'm Ray Mescalado, and today we're talking about The Wrath of the Spectre, the controversial 1970s run by writer Michael Fleisher and Jim Aparo, who was the artist for most of it. He did ink Frank Thorne and Ernie Chu at different points. Anyway, I love these stories. I would say they're now my third favorite superhero comics after Manhunter and Elektra Assassin. And the main reason is that in a lot of ways, this is what pure superhero comics are supposed to be. According to Fleisher, according to Aparo, and according to Joe Orlando and Paul Levitz, who worked with the team on this book for DC. For them, the whole point of superhero comics is that it's an outsized response for justice. You're supposed to punish the bad guy. The bad guy's supposed to be clearly morally wrong, and the superhero thus has the ability to inflict whatever kind of violent damage he can on the wrongdoer. And you see the decks being stacked, so not only are the villains extra villainous and mean, but also that there's a certain poetic justice and glee to how the Spectre acts out his vengeance. I mean, look at this. The guy with the crystal ball gets turned into glass, and then what does the Spectre do? Smashes it, of course. It's a lot of fun if you like your superheroes sadistic, if you like horror, because as you can see here, there was definitely a strong sense of horror to these stories. Not just with the villains, but with the fear that the Spectre instills in them when he finally acts things out. And we even get some really, love interest Gwen Sterling decides to chop up Jim Corrigan, the Spectre, and he responds by taking the cleaver and chopping her up in turn. Luckily, it's not the real Gwen, though he didn't know it at the time. And so he does save her. And then he also acts out mannequin revenge on the guy responsible. Because of course. And while Gwen Sterling makes for a great romantic foil for the Spectre, there's Earl Crawford, who looks a lot like Clark Kent and is even called Clark Kent by others, including Jim Corrigan, who's like a moral foil for the Spectre, who insists that, you shouldn't turn someone into wood and chop him up into slices. There's Earl walking away saying he needs a drink after witnessing that. And, tentacles. You can't go wrong with tentacles. And that's a fun way to approach the story, too. The people behind this comic liken this to EC Comics, and it does have both that gleeful sadism and the inventiveness of those horror comics. The Spectre is at least feeling relief, and admittedly, the way he goes about it does have a level of pranksterism, of the spirit of vengeance, pulling these really vicious practical jokes on a cosmic level to these people. And all of this is done with such beautiful art by Jim Aparo, who does most of the penciling and always does the inking, and he does a very beautiful Gwen Sterling, I have to say. There she is. Some nice Aparo cheesecake. You don't see it that often. And here, this is a great story. Basically, the Spectre asks to be made human again. So whatever cosmic being out there grants him his wish, but he gets killed off because he takes too many risks as Corrigan. And so he's back as a Spectre, and the Spectre can't be with Gwen, and that's that. Oh, here are the covers for the Baxter reprints of the original 1970s run. But Fleisher also had 3 scripts that were never drawn, and Aparo did that in the 80s as the 4th issue of Wrath of the Spectre. And those stories are good. Earl Crawford, the reporter, and Gwen finally interact with each other, which they never did before. And the art's nice, though Dan DeCarlo's inks and the coloring make it much brighter and less moody than what Aparo's done before. So yeah, this was enjoyable, but not nearly as good or as dark or as transgressive as the original run. And sure, nowadays this comic would seem tame in its violence and its mentality. It's still a lot of fun on its own. It holds up well as far as I'm concerned. Even with Commissioner Gordon apparently being a son of a bitch. I think they're actually reprinting it in a different edition now, so if you get a chance, pick it up. It's wonderful, it's wonderfully demented and unhinged, it's beautifully illustrated. I'm Ray Mastelotto. Have a good day. Goodbye.